Hello, everybody. Hi. Thank you for joining us here on another episode of A Glimpse of Shadow, the One Ring Lord of the Rings TTRPG. I am your Lorekeeper, Mark/Mara, and I'm joined by my friends Rythian. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm joined by Zylus.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Kirsty.
Hello.
And I'm joined by my friends, and we are playing. This is episode 5 of A Glimpse of Shadow, which I'm quite like, oh my god, we've done 5 of these already. It doesn't feel like that. Welcome everybody. We're just going to jump straight into it. This is all going into the recorded episode, which will hopefully go out on YouTube. I'm a little bit behind on those, but they will eventually all get uploaded, so you can watch the whole story there. We find ourselves back in Middle Earth, and in fact, we see this shot of this narrow forested valley that winds its way through into the Weather Hills. We follow along a quite an aggressive river, kind of rushing rapids, weaving in and out between the trees and hills until we see a broken stone tower erected hundreds of years ago, dilapidated, broken, and with evidence of orcs and goblins having taken over it. And we go past that tower, following the river once more until we arrive at the opening of a cave where 3 battered-looking heroes emerge, supporting each other, carrying each other, 2 of them badly wounded and bleeding as they make their way. Could you, starting with, I think, the least injured, Primula, could you describe the sort of the movie scene, sort of the close-up or whatever you want it to be of Primula sort of emerging after the events that took place, just to kind of give us that snapshot of where Primula is right now?
Yeah, I think she's probably looking quite upset.
So we starting like a close up on her face, and like she's all worried and sort of smudged.
Yeah, is absolutely concerned. She's probably like looking forward to like make sure that they, have their footing, and then back to Magnar to making sure he's okay. I picture sort of Magnar in the middle. I mean, I can't speak for the other 2, but I imagine Magnar's being propped up by Huffer, and then Prim's just trying to help on the other side.
I think that, it's if, from Primula's, it's probably that angle, but I imagine it's for Magnar and Huffer, it's kind of, they're sort of keeping each other up at this moment, both sort of hobbling along. You're sort of dragging these sacks of various discarded, stolen goods that you've managed to recover from within the cave, and Primula, you sort of bring yourself along. Then let's go to Magnar. Rythian, what's the sort of cinematic shot of Magnar that we see in this movie?
So, you're so used to seeing Magnar with his helm firmly on and ready. That is now hanging sort of loosely off a little loop on his belt. He's got his 2 axes, both of who he's very proud of, like his father's axe and the newly treasure axe of I can't remember, Finnambar or whatever it was called.
Finthorn.
Finthorn, on his back, sort of crossed at this point, as he's struggling to hold himself steady. His pride has taken a hit, but ultimately he survived, and that's the important part. So he's sort of staggering along slowly, trying his best to basically seem like he's in better shape than he is, because he's in a very rough shape.
And what do you think, because he was wounded specifically, what does that wound look like for Magnar? What kind of wound is it?
I think I'd like to combine it with the crashing of the shield. So I'd like to imagine like a huge swing from the super powerful orc, just cracking his shield, and through a part of it, his shield arm is now broken, and nice. Like a big sort of like cut, as it's like just still basically bleeding on the arm.
Okay, and probably broken as well, so like sort of hanging limp down by the side.
Absolutely,
amazing. I love that. And then we come to the sort of other one propping you up, our ranger Zylus. Give us the cinematic view of Huffer right now.
Huffer is keeping it together, but the adrenaline like if you zoom in on his eyes, you can see there's definitely like he's back to being like a bit panicky. Like the adrenaline that took over and like kind of made him go past this PTSD has now worn out. He's holding it together, but just he's not right.
I love that, like the idea of the close up on the eyes. Like we may probably see Huffer from the back or like from the side where he's got the cloak, and he looks so much the ranger, like injured and weary, but still looking like this heroic ranger. And then we get this kind of like slow, soft zoom in on the eyes where we see them darting and we see them dilate, and we can see that panic and that fear is sort of returning. And what do you think Huffer's wound is, like specifically? What do you think that wound is represented? You were both wounded. You currently don't have it because I was doing some playing around with your character sheets, but you are both wounded.
I got wounded being slashed by the big orc, I think, right?
I mean, it could be whatever you want, right? Like, it doesn't have to necessarily relate to exactly what happened in the moment. This could be like you've got a big gash down your neck, or, you know, a scar. It could be a broken arm, or like a twisted leg, or whatever you want it to be.
I think it's like a really gruesome looking, like deep, like diagonal cut across the chest.
Nice. So it's kind of cut through the leather a little bit. You know, it's scored into the chest.
It starts at like the shoulder, and it goes like right below the nipple or something like that.
Nice. So it comes really far across. Cuts through. So we see these scenes of you guys emerging, and then for our audience, the flashback to that desperate battle in the caves of Nell's Hollow. You had traveled here from Weathertop, having saved the life of a young ranger, Lorwyn, who had told you that after having defeated many of these orcs and goblins, had told you that their leader, a very powerful orc, Gorstag, the great beast, was trying to set up a sort of breeding ground and a training ground for orcs in the area, in this place called Nell's Hollow. You had traveled there, guided by Huffer's knowledge of the wilderness and Magnar's skills in journeying, and you had made your way there. And thanks to Primula's stealth, you had managed to scout out the area and discover that most of the orcs were sleeping inside. You took out some of the sentries, but when you got into the caves, it very quickly turned into a desperate battle. Having fought one orc in the wolf pen, you were quickly sort of ambushed. Well, not quite ambushed, but you were assaulted by a pack of, 5 of these orcs and goblins, who cornered you in the caves. Having fought them off, it was a close call. You were weary, you were winded, but not quite wounded yet. And Primula snuck deeper into the caves, where you discovered that 2 farmers from Bree, Hala and Iona, had been kept captive. And thanks to Primula's nimble little fingers, you were able to pick the lock and free them, who told you that Gorstag would return in the evening with some of the other orcs, and you managed to help them get to safety. You decided to rest as much as you could so that you could assault this orc, this leader, the very the pool of which this evil was flowing from, and try and ambush them, but not before Primula discovered a rather incredible dwarven axe in his treasure hoard, Finthoran, the King's Flame, and gifted it to dear Magnar. But the battle against Gorstag was a terrible one. One that inflicted terrible wounds on both Huffer and Magnar, as accompanied by several wolves. This was a desperate fight, but you were the victors. Beaten, injured, wounded, but alive. Just barely. And you have no choice. There was originally a plan that you would travel on from Nell's Hollow towards the ruin of Fornost to investigate these rumors of folk looking for one of the seeing stones, the Palantir. However, that is no longer an option. You will not survive. You are injured, you are desperate, and you must return to safety in order to recover, and hope that the time it takes will not be too long. You meet back up with Hala and Iona, who you had sort of stashed away in the woods, Magnar and Huffer, and the two of them seeing you both in such a state, very much quickly, the Breelanders' hospitality and spirit of generosity comes in, and they, both help you along. They help you on your journey to ensure that there are, less chores and less difficulties for you. Now, mechanically, when you are returning to a safe haven after an adventuring phase, we don't need to worry about any journey rules. It is assumed that that you are able to make it back to Brie. You are able to reach safety. We do still track the time, and I have been updating the journey map and the company logs with all of your journey logs. And you guys can look at this as well. I will switch it so the audience can see. Under your company log, you can scroll the way down and you can expand your journey log, and you can see here that since leaving the Shire, it has been, I believe that is going to be 26 days, nearly a full month since you left Mickle Delving. And the journey back to Brie from Nell's Hollow takes you 6 days. You load up your two horses, I believe George and I cannot remember. Ironhoof, with the rest of Gorstag's treasure, which does give you 10 treasure points to distribute however you would like, but I'll let you guys decide what to do with that. And you make your way back to Brie. Once you arrive, traveling through the outer farms, you are looked at with maybe a hint of concern, maybe a hint of suspicion almost, until they see the very relieved and very happy to be alive Hala and Iona, who immediately are like, please come help us, bring bandages, bring medics, and they kind of call out to everybody, they saved us, they slaughtered the orcs, they saved us, as your company returns in. Claps, rounds of applause as they sort of you stagger back into the town, beaten and battered, but returning as heroes, as people that have stopped a great evil here. What do you guys do when you arrive back in Brie? What is like the first thing that you guys want to do before we have any time for anything else?
I think Magnar is very yeah, pretty much
straight to the prancing pony and a drink.
Very like practical, and it's like, I am hurt and I am exhausted. I need medical attention, I need rest, and I need food. Like basically these three things together will slowly start fixing me before I can start thinking of anything else.
Sure. What about Prim? Huffer is very clear. He wants a drink.
Yeah, I think Prim would...
No. I said medical attention.
Medical. Oh, sorry. I thought you said medic, I need a drink. No, is what I thought you said.
No, I said medic.
Medic. Oh, medic. Oh, yes. Yeah. What about Prim? Like you, because you are faring a lot better than your two friends.
Yeah.
Like you are.
I mean, I think she'd be more concerned about the other two. So, yeah, if Magnar was heading to the Prancing Pony, she'd probably go along with him and then sort of take it upon herself to be like, right, you sit down, and then she'll go up to the bar and she'll be like, we need food, we need drink, we need blah 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 blah, we need medical attention.
You see the young Barleyman Butterbur, the young son of Barnabas Butterbur, who will one day be the innkeeper here at the Prancing Pony. And he's like, oh, little miss, of course, medical attention. I mean, I think there's a few folk here who know old healing arts and things like that. I can look into that for you, of course. I mean, food and drink, no problem. We can sort that out. No worries. Of course, for Master Magnar and Mr. Old Huffer, we can get that sorted, no problem. But in terms of medical doctors, I don't really. I mean, it may be an odd thing.
Well, have you got any bandages? Just bandages for the time being.
Yeah, we can source all. Yeah, definitely, we definitely got to. But maybe that Elven fellow, the one that you met here before. I mean, they're supposed to know all sorts of things. The elves.
Oh yes. Is he still here?
Yes, he's up in your room. Yes, aye.
We should go find him.
Yes, okay. And then she'll just wander off and try and find him. She'll be like, you sit down, Magnar, and she'll go upstairs.
Okay.
So Huffer and Magnar, do you guys just basically take a seat where you're sort of deposited?
Collapse onto the thing, like one arm limping to the side, the other one is like, I could use some water. or ale, if I'm honest.
You see Barliman, just his eyes go wide when you say water. He's like, "Oh my, you must be a death's door, Master Magnar.
Yeah.
Of course, water and beer and pie and whatever it is you need." And he goes sort of dashing off. Huffer, you're a little bit more aware of your surroundings, right? Because you're quite always keeping an eye out. You know, I think Magnar is perhaps a little bit more easily distracted.
Absolutely not paying attention to much at the moment. Yeah.
And I think for Huffer, go on.
I think I would just sit there, of course, light my pipe weed.
Of course. And this is the last of it, right? This is the dregs of what you've been carrying with you. You're going to have to restock while you're here.
But as I do that, I also, very much look around.
Yeah.
Because I am paranoid at this stage, again.
You would notice that there is a quietness about the prancing pony that is not normally present. Everybody in the room, you know, there are farmers, there are horse rearers and traders and things like that, and everybody's just looking at the two of you, and it's hard to pick up exactly what their vibe is. Why don't you give me an insight roll, and we can see where we're at.
Insight.
Okay. Oh, before you roll, my apology. I want to make one thing very clear. Now, we are in the fellowship phase, so this is not going to apply right now. However, in the future, after you have done your downtime here, as you've now completed your first little foray and you've struck a blow against the great enemy, there is a mechanic in this game called the eye, an eye awareness, and the more things you do that draws the attention of Sauron, the higher your eye awareness goes. And up until now, you haven't really drawn that notice, but having struck a blow against Sauron's minions, the eye is vaguely aware, and you guys currently have, so I've worked this out based on the game mechanics, you have an eye awareness score, which is currently 4. And that's 2 points because you have a ranger, you have a Dunedain with you, and this is in the rules. If their party contains a Dunedain, it starts at 2. Okay. And then also, Magnar, your brand new axe, Finthoran, for every famous weapon and armor that the party carries, the eye awareness increases by 2. So this is like your starting base score. Now, things that you do during your adventuring phase, so not right now, you don't have to worry about it now, but when you go into the next adventuring phase, and the next sort of adventure and arc, anytime you roll an Eye of Sauron, the eye awareness goes up by 1 point.
No.
It will also go up if you do things of like, if you do things like if you cast spells or if you have any sort of magical sorcery, it could go up by more depending on the circumstances. And if your eye awareness is ever higher than the what's called the hunt threshold for the area you're in, it triggers basically a special event where a force of the enemy is sent to find you and hunt you down.
Oh boy.
So that is literally Shadow of Mordor, like Ranger, like, you know, or that could be a Nazgul is sent to try and cut you down before you can interfere with the plans of the enemy. But nothing to worry about now. You're safe in Brie.
Like Shadow of Mordor, it'll be Garstag come back and he'll be like, thought you killed me.
Exactly.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah, and it's going to be Garstag plated up, and he's going to be, oh,
exactly. Half his head broken in half, but still after us.
But just wanted to bring that up. It doesn't matter now because we are in what's called the fellowship phase, and this is you are in safety. This is your chance to rest and recuperate, and also you're going to get an opportunity to spend your XP, gain some rewards, and improve yourselves as well. But just for instance,
do an insight check.
Insight check. Yes, sorry, Zylus. I completely ADHD'd you there.
That's okay. That's why I reminded you.
I'm glad you remember, Zylus, because I didn't.
Okay. I am weary, so it's probably not gonna.
Well, then you got 2 5s. So remember, weary will just basically mean 1, 2s, and 3s count as zeros. But just not quite high enough there on your basic die with your feet die there. You're just too exhausted. So for you, you just see that this room is eerily quiet. Everybody is staring at you both, and nobody's like, you know, maybe you see a couple of people like whispering and sort of pointing in your direction. That's the impression you pick up on from it. Primula, you race upstairs and you see coming to the door, having heard some commotion, opening the door is the elegant, beautiful Kellen here, the elven scholar who you met before. Their sleeve hanging loose over where they have their missing arm. Miss Primula, you've returned. Are you all right? You look terrified.
She's very flustered and out of breath. From,
It's all right. He
bolting up the stairs.
He takes a knee and sort of places a hand on your shoulder, and he says something in Elven, and you suddenly just feel like it's so much easier to catch your breath. You feel like the air around you is like just crisp and refreshing.
Mr. Kellen here. We just got back, and the others they're hurt, and I wondered if you had any healing
Yes,
or
yes, of course. Yes,
have
please.
you got bandages?
Yes, I have. I was trained in the art of healing by Master Elrond. I will come and attend to them. I think it best that we get them up into bed for rest and everything else. They have rooms here, do they not?
Yes, we do.
All right, good. Well,
I can go and get them.
I will come with you, my dear. Do not worry. No, let us get your friends to bed, and I will do what Lord Elrond has taught me to do.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Of course. And we must talk about what happened. The last I heard, you were heading out to this to Weathertop.
Yes. We got there, and there was a ranger. What was her name? Lowen.
Yeah,
her
Lauren.
name was Lauren.
Like the magic set
Like-
that came out recently.
Yes.
And she was really hurt, and I'm losing the accent. It's been a week, and we helped her get better, and then we moved on. But we went to somewhere called Nail's Hollow, and there were lots of orcs, and we tried, but we did it. We got out, but he got really hurt, and we need help.
It's all right. Well, if they've made it all the way back here, and they'll be all right. Don't worry.
Okay.
And he will gracefully, he sort of, with his one free hand, he'll offer it to hold yours and sort of walk down the stairs with you. It's a little bit kind of like parent-child, but it's not meant that way. This is a genuine offer of sort of comfort to give you someone to hold on to. So he sort of leads you down the stairs, and you sort of bring him over to Huffer and Magnar. Kellen here will look at you both, sort of immediately just looks at your wounds and is like, I appreciate that you may want drinks and food, gentlemen, but I think it best...
Literally, one turkey leg in my mouth as we speak. What?
I think once you are done with that, Master Magnar, I think it best we have you return to your rooms so I can properly attend to these wounds of yours. You'll need some rest to let these heal. I have a few supplies of Master Elrond's, but you will still need plenty of rest and time to recover from these wounds.
I think Magnar might have argued in the past to I'm fine, but no, he's not fine. He's hurt, so he's going to shut up and listen.
Yes, good. He will, and he basically lets you kind of finish your drinks and your meals, and then with Primula's help, you're basically both escorted to your various rooms, where Kellen here will begin to administer healing and begin to help you. It takes about 3 days for you both to fully recover from these wounds. I've already cleared your wounds, so you're no longer wounded.
Hey.
And after those 2 days, as this is a fellowship phase, you guys can basically full rest. You can rest until you're full of everything, and you can also increase you can put your hope back to maximum.
Oh, wow.
Hope as well. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Lovely.
Now, also, because you guys did strike a blow against the enemy, and you have made
endurance and hope to max.
Endurance and hope to max, yeah.
Wowie.
And I will need to remove your weary if it does not do it automatically.
It doesn't do it automatically, but you can alt-click to toggle it.
Yeah,
So.
I've done it for Huffer.
Yeah.
Now, because you struck back against Gorstag. Now, Gorstag was not the most powerful orc, boss around, but if he had been allowed to continue what he was doing, he would have established a small stronghold, and this would have been very bad for the people of Brie. This means you have taken a minor victory against the enemy, against Sauron, and that means you can all remove 1 shadow point.
Hooray!
And I want to know, I think especially for Huffer, I want to know what that feels like for Huffer and like how we might see that reflected in his sort of behavior and actions over those days when he's healing. Because obviously for Huffer's eyes, we know that, you know, that the enemy is such a traumatic and sort of upsetting thing for him. But is there anything that is positive of like feeling like he's done something and like he has stopped this evil? Like, do we see any of that sort of reflected in Huffer?
I think it helps. It definitely helps, but like, he also knows it was only a small cog in the machine, so it doesn't like cure it by any means, but it gives him like a temporary, like after reflecting on it, like as he's like mending. I think
lots of time for introspection.
He does feel a bit better, but he is very much still like could go the other way at any moment.
Do you think that, like, you know, maybe in those first couple of days when you're healing, there's you know, some nightmares of like, you know, seeing the orcs and seeing them branded with the great eye and things like that, and sort of coming awake in sweats, and then as time goes on, sort of having that feeling of like, but you saved Lorwyn, you stopped Gorstag, like you did a great thing.
I think it's not reflected in the dreams, but it's definitely something he will reflect on while awake.
Love that. So mechanically, we're going to talk, and I love mechanics. You people watching on Twitch, you guys know I love mechanics, but I also love mixing it with roleplay. Now, this game is split into basically like two things. You have adventuring phases, which is what we've been doing up till now, which is basically like you go on a quest or an adventure and you do stuff, and then you have the fellowship phase. Now, the fellowship phase is kind of a little bit back and forth between me and you guys. Like, I want you guys to pick some mechanical things, and then I'm going to improvise some scenes and some roleplay around it. Now, one of the first things we do is we determine the duration of this. Now, in this game, it is not unusual for your fellowship phase to last months. Think about Frodo first getting to Rivendell, healing from the Witch King's Blade, and then also spent a lot of time just sort of with the hobbits and resting and waiting for the Council of Elrond, right? So these can take up to a season, like these breaks. I'm guessing though that you don't want to wait that long, and you guys want to crack on with the greater task that you know of hunting down this Palantir as quickly as possible.
I think we'd probably check in with Kellen here to see what he thinks, because he was ultimately the one that gave us this information in the first place.
Sure.
I feel like we wanted to go to Fornos for the Palantir, so that's definitely something that we do want to do, but we know we need a rest, and we need to at the very least be as healthy as we can. So I think we chat with Kellen here, see his point of view on it.
Yeah.
Kellen here you sort of have this quiet conversation, maybe sort of on the second night when you guys are mostly recovered, but you're still nursing these wounds. You sit round in the Prancing Pony one night, up in Kellen here's room. You know, he's had a meal paid for, and is sort of checking on you. I'm pleased to see that you are both recovering well. I think about another day or two, and you should both be restored to your full strength. I am concerned. You have been gone for some time, and the strange men that tried to break into my room to attack me, they are still in the jail, but they keep saying that there are far more of them, and the people, the scouts, the archers, and the traders here, they've said that they've seen more of their kind heading into towards Fornost along the Green Road North. I fear that we cannot wait too much longer. I know that there are rangers and those who patrol the area, but none have come to Brie for supplies or news, which worries me. Alas, I lack Lord Elrond's gift of foresight, but I feel a shadow passing over Brie, like a great hand reaching from Fornost, spreading towards the nearest place of civilization. I think resting a few more days, perhaps a few days to gather your supplies and repair your equipment, but a week no longer can we wait.
Do you think that seems fair? I worry a little bit about How much the darkness will advance in Fornost while we sit here and lick our wounds. But we have to face reality, and this is the state we find ourselves in. If we were to leave now, I fear we would only serve to give the enemy our lives and accomplish nothing.
Magnar's sounding a lot more Swedish than what's up.
Yeah, I'm trying
It's
to
good.
change up the...
It stops it being Scotland squad.
Yeah, I'm trying to change up the voice a little bit.
I love it.
So,
No,
yeah.
I love it. I love Swedish Magnar.
Yeah.
Kellen here will say, "Do not despair too much, Master Magnar. You and your friends, all three of you, you did a great deed for the people of this town, for the people of Brie. I have spent more time here, and I have overheard conversations. They are very grateful. They are in awe of you, really. Last time it took a small army of militia guards from Brie to march to Nell's Hollow to put down the orcs who had taken root there. The fact that you did it 3 against however many, to rescue 2 farmers, 2 women who would have died in that place without you, to have helped recover many stolen goods. You have done a great thing here, and whilst, yes, the shadow grows in Fornost, I fear that if you had not acted, a shadow would have grown from the Weather Hills as well. At least now there is only the one that we must deal with."
I shall try to find the light and joy in that fact, but the task still looms on the horizon, and I want to be ready to go for it when we have a chance.
You see Kellen here will look towards you, Zylus. And it's Naran here, isn't it?
Randir.
Narandir, that's it. I was trying to remember the exact Dunedain name. Narandir, how are you feeling? I worry for you.
I will manage. I've faced worse, as you well know.
You have faced many things over many years, my old friend, and such battles can take their toll. Not just physically, but mentally as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how to respond to this.
There's this sort of moment where the two of you are looking towards each other.
Yeah,
so if Prim or Magnar wanted to jump in, like this is like, there's this sort of long, awkward silence.
Yeah,
I think Magnar is like, oh, I'm about to find out something, so he's keeping quiet.
I think Prim, if you can't think of anything, I can think of something to interrupt.
I think like Huffer just he knows what Kalandir is saying, and I think their eyes lock, and he just quickly like moves his gaze away and just like
stares out the window.
Yeah,
love it. You see Kalandir has a strange expression over his face. Well, and he looks towards you, Primula. At least I know that you will always be in good spirits, Miss Primula. It seems hard to dampen the heart of the Shire folk, at least.
She smiles. Well, as long as these two are okay.
They will be, yes. Thanks to... I was fortunate that I brought many healing supplies with me, and even a broken bone can be mended swiftly with Elven medicine.
I think Magnar lifts his arm a little bit. It's still a bit stiff, but it's getting there soon enough. It should be fine.
A few more days, and plenty of time to gather new supplies, and then to head out.
Good.
And with that... Oh, go on.
No, you go.
No, I'm going to wrap up the scene, so if there's anything you want to say there.
I was just going to say, and we're not leaving any sooner. You have to be in the peak of health.
Yes. You must ensure that your strength is as high as it can be for your journey to Fornost.
Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, he says, rolling his eyes.
And with that, we're going to sort of cut back the veil a little bit and jump into some mechanical stuff. You get to spend some XP.
Hooray!
Yay! So this is called the Perform Update step. Now, this is kind of split into 2 halves. on your character sheets, and I'll bring up Primula's as an example for the stream. At the very bottom, underneath your equipment, you have skill points and adventure points. And these are basically, and I think actually there's like a, I can probably do a thing which is the report of play. I know that's like a big thing. I was going to say, I think that there's a way that I can do a, there we go. You have these two things, skill points and adventure points. Skill points literally are spent to improve skills, not combat skills, just your basic skills. Okay, and you can increase what each skill once during the fellowship phase, and it costs XP. There's different amounts depending on the rank of the skill that you want to buy, but you can now spend XP to improve your skills. The more exciting thing is the adventure points. Adventure points can be spent to increase your valor or your wisdom or your combat proficiencies. Now, combat proficiencies, you could in theory spend all of your points to try and upgrade those. It is not my recommendation. My recommendation is that you guys increase either your valor or your wisdom, because that is going to grant you what's called a reward or a virtue. And because this is basically a not character creation, you can now buy what are called cultural virtues, which are special virtues for your particular culture. So dwarves, hobbits, Dunedain. And these are pretty cool, right? So if you remember when we did character creation, I know, chat, you weren't there for that, but like rewards are like physical things. So it's like a new, better sword, a better shield, a better piece of armor, things like that. Virtues are things about yourself. So it could be confidence, it could be prowess, it could be mastery. And then your cultural ones, you know, for a hobbit, one of the examples is to just disappear from sight. Like you have the hobbit's ability to just kind of vanish from scenarios when you need to. It could be your bravery, and all these kinds of cool things. Now, I did try to set this up in Foundry so you could browse these by your own choice, but unfortunately, I didn't do it rightly. So I will have to try and read these out for you, but let's do skill points first because they're separate. So if you would like, so when we look at your skills, so this is your skills under strength, heart, and wits, and to increase a 0 to a 1 is going to cost 4 skill points. To go from a 1 to a 2 is 8 skill points, and then to go up to 3 is 12 skill points. I'm just trying to see if that has to be bought sequentially.
I'd imagine. So it has to, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's got to be, right?
yeah.
Well, it's quite...
But sequentially, it can't be sequential anyway, because you can only upgrade once skill
once,
per
yes, that's true. Yeah,
thing,
so
right?
yeah, so but I'm just yeah. I'm just wondering, like, yeah, to go from 2 to 3 is 12. Yeah, so that is correct. So for example, let's use Prim, right? You could spend all 12 of your skill points to boost your awareness from 2 to 3, right? And remember, that's going to give you an extra d6 anytime you make that skill roll. But you could also use this to try and like maybe bump up some of your weaker skills or buy skills and things that you're like, I didn't think I would need this, but actually I kind of actually do want to get some points into this. And a quick thing that I found out apparently as well for you specifically, Kirsty, is things like lock picking. Apparently a lot of people recommend you use craft for that. It's a craft skill roll, but you can spend you can use burglary to spend a hope and be inspired for it, basically.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, let's do skill points. Let's have a think about like, and what I would like for you guys to do, you don't have to do this, but this is the way I like to do leveling up in these kinds of more narrative games. Try and think about the things that happened on the adventure that would make sense that you would either get better at or want to improve at, or think of something that could be in Brie that you're going to spend a couple of days training at something and what that scene or what that training might look like, and sort of narrate that for us as you spend those skill points. Because I do want this to be like, yeah, this is like a week of downtime. Yes, you're resting, but also you're going to be doing some stuff to try and like train and build up those skills.
Tell me the difference between insight and scan.
Yes, yes, I can. So insight is reading people. It's the ability to see beyond appearances and to recognize hidden thoughts and beliefs of people. Heroes with high insight score are often recognized as being sensible and discerning individuals. But yeah, you basically, it's like reading people, the skill. Okay. And then scan... Scan is play heroes can use the scan skill when examining something closely or tentatively. The skill allows play heroes to skim through a book to locate pieces of relevant information, look for concealed doors or hidden inscriptions, recognize a familiar face in the crowd, or locate a set of tracks on the ground.
Okay, so for lore reasons, right? I think Huffer, after all that, like, he's confident that he is like aware of his surroundings, and he fully understands all of that. He's not worried about his combat abilities or anything, but that last fight did leave him shaken. You know, it put him back into being a bit of a shaky mood. And I think he's just a little bit more paranoid, and he wants to get better at like being just not aware of his immediate, like, of the complete surroundings, but like just things around him or people around him. Like, would you say inside or scan is better to move up to 3?
So it depends, right? Do you want, so scan is like for like finding hidden things. So it's like searching a ruin to find a hidden passageway. Insight is like, I want to get a read on this person that I'm meeting, or I want to get a read on this person that we've met on the road.
Insight makes more sense.
I think so too, for like what you're describing. Yeah. So because your awareness is already 3, so and that would have been my other choice. My other suggestion
would have been my awareness is like, I think there was never a situation in that entire journey we just had where my awareness failed me, but insight has failed me, I think, a few times. So I think Huffer would want to be better at reading people.
So to go up from, so you're currently at 2 on insight, to go up to 3 would be 3. It would be 12 skill points. So that would be all of your skill points. Perfect. So you can so alt click it on your character sheet, and that will go up to 3. Perfect.
Done.
All right, perfect.
I've removed the 12 skill points.
Yes. What about Magnar and Primula skill-wise?
So I think Magnar is a function of what happened to him during the adventure. He was rushing forward, fighting, and what he often found was what he pushed most in this journey was his physical conditioning, in terms of like marching to like keep trying, rushing to catch the goblin, climbing up the ladder, throwing, just the sheer amount of battle and so on. So, and because of that, he then took an injury, and he's now had to basically do physical rehab to get back to it. So ultimately, like in the process of getting back to full shape, he's pushed his body to be stronger, so he's going to put a point in athletics.
And again, that's the same for you, 2 to 3, so it's all 12 skill points.
All 12 gone.
You can also save these, like if you do, for example, Prim, if you don't want to spend all of them, you could like spend 4 or 8 of them and then save the rest. So you don't have to spend them all at once. You do save them. But yeah, what are you thinking for Primula?
I'm a bit torn between a few of them. I don't think I'm going to dump them all into one.
Sure.
Like these go.
You want to kind of like spread your points around a bit.
Yeah, like part of me is saying something like explore or travel, because she's finally set foot out of the Shire, and that just naturally, I think, would have improved on the road.
Sure.
There's also, I don't know how much actual benefit it will have, in that I don't know how much I'll use it, but part of me's like, maybe put one into healing, because I like the idea of her pottering around and trying to help over these couple of days.
I love the idea that you're sort of following, like Kellen here is kind of teaching you. I love that. Yeah. That's such a great little idea. I love that. Cool. I think that works really, really well. And so that would be, so you currently have, so for example, explore and healing are both 1 cost at the moment for you. So to go up to 2 would be 8 skill points. So you probably, and you can only do 1 skill. You can only do it once per skill. So what you could do is you could do one of those to 2. And then if you did want to boost, say, travel, which is you currently have no points in, you could get 1 point in that, and that cost you the 4, and then that would be all 12. Or you could just do the 1 to 2 and then save the 4 for the future. But it's up to you. It's going to be a little while before you get another fellowship phase again, so it's probably a good idea to spend your XP.
I think I want to spend them. Yeah, sure. I'll put 1 into travel then, and I'll boost my healing as well.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute. Yeah. So yeah, alt click to add a pip.
Okie dokie.
And that's going to give you an extra d6 in both of those skills whenever you make those rolls.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Should I remove the?
And then your 12 skill points. Yes.
Skill points. Okay.
Wonderful. Now, and this is where I really want to do like some improv scenes. So we'll once you pick, we'll figure out what that's going to look like, because now you get to choose whether you increase your valor or your wisdom. And this is going to cost you 8 of those adventuring points. So you will still have 4 left over, but you can only increase one of them. You can't increase both of them. Anyway, and you don't have enough points for that anyway. Is there any sort of gut feeling? Do you guys all want to hear what some of the cultural virtues you could get? Or is, like, for example, like Rythian for Magnar, are you like, no, I really want to...
Valor.
Yeah, okay, Valor. So that would be
I mean, I'd love it. Just if you like, all mechanics aside, like, what did Magnar display the most in this venture? I think he displayed far more valor than he did wisdom. Like, could you restate for me what I get from valor and what I would get from wisdom?
So valor will give you a reward, which is a physical reward, right? And so that could be a sort of, and I have an idea for this, and you tell me what you think about the idea. But that, for me, you lost your shield, right?
Yeah,
and it sucked getting your shield broken. You could claim as a reward, one of the rewards is reinforced shield, and it's a better shield, and because it's got a reward upgrade on it, it can never be permanently broken. It can be like knocked out of your hand and stuff like that, but it can't be destroyed like your old shield was. That could literally be like the people of Brie, like somebody has made you this shield as a thank you for what you guys have done. And that is a physical reward that is being given to you in the narrative.
Does it have, aside from being indestructible, does it have any other mechanical
differences
from a normal?
It's a +1 to its parry rating. So I think it's +3 to the parry instead of +2. So it's an extra parry on top as well.
Right.
So that's what valor will be.
Cool stuff in wisdom, I think. So I'm still not sure.
Sure. So wisdom is the virtues.
I do like the sound of that special shield. That sounds cool, but I think I'll have to think about it after I hear the wisdom stuff.
Sure. Cool. And then, I guess like for Huffer and Primula, you guys would probably want to hear about some of these cultural
yes,
ones.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you to last, Zylus, because the Dunedain ones are all fucking ridiculous, to be honest. Like,
of course they are.
Of course they are. He's Aragorn, right? Like, of course they are.
Yeah.
Let's start with the virtues.
Give me my baby ones first.
Yeah, let's do the virtues of the dwarves. Now, there is a couple of really good ones in both of these as well. Ones that I think actually, like, man, these are some really cool choices. There are a couple where I'm like, I don't think that's going to be very beneficial, so you can just ignore it. But the virtues of the dwarves, so the first one that we have is called Baruk Kazad. The secret tongue of the dwarves is guarded as a treasure of the past, yet their battle cry is well known and feared by their foes. And the benefit of this is once per combat, when you fight in a forward stance, you can make your attack roll favored, which means you roll twice and take the highest, and attempt the intimidate foe combat task as a secondary action, which means you get to do it and attack on the same turn. And it's once per combat you can do that. Baruk Kazad.
That one, we mentioned that before, I think.
Yes,
and that
I think
one
I gave that as an example.
Cool. Yeah.
The next one is called Broken Spells. In ancient times, the dwarves made mighty spells. You have been taught fragments of old enchantments that retain some power to this day. Choose one skill for each category, strength, heart, and wits, and mark them with a dot or rune on your character sheet. Whenever you use any of these 3 marked skills, you can spend 1 hope to achieve a magical success. Now, what does that mean? First of all, it is magic. It is basically casting a spell. So, in certain circumstances, that might make the eye awareness go up. But it's very powerful. A magical success is an automatic success. So you can basically spend a hope to automatically succeed on 3 skills whenever you choose.
Oh, wow.
And magical successes can come from magical items, and they come from certain virtues as well. So you would get to pick a skill.
Can a magical success still, like, extraordinarily succeed? Or
yes. So the way I would do it is I need to check the rules on this, but this is the way I'm going to do it for now. You still roll to see if you get those extra successes, but no matter what, you will succeed at it. Is how I would.
It's sort of like rolling in Gandalf rune, I guess.
Yeah, basically. It's like you basically get a free Gandalf rune. So you would get 3 skills that you get to choose, 1 from each column, and you get to mark those. And whenever you use those skills, you can spend a hope point and get a magical success.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty good, right? And it's also it's like a little bit of magic in the world as well.
Yeah.
Your next one is dark for dark business. Your kind is not troubled by mere darkness in itself, as most of the members of other cultures are. On the contrary, you have grown to like the dark better than the light, finding yourself at ease in its cold embrace. When you are in the dark, in brackets at night or underground, you are inspired on all your rolls. So you know how like normally, so you still have to spend a point of hope, but any roll you make, you get 2 dice instead of 1, basically.
Ooh, okay.
And then you have Durin's Way. The dwarves have fought many wars in deep places beneath the earth. You have been taught how to best defend yourself while fighting underground. As a result, you know how to exploit corners, darkness, and other natural obstacles. Add +2 to your parry rating when fighting underground or in otherwise cramped quarters like inside a building. Then you have Stone Hard. The dwarves were made to be strong and to endure, for they came unto the world wherein a great evil ruled Middle-earth. As long as your spirit supports your strength, you can resist any hurt of the body more hardily than most. All your protection rolls are favored, as long as you are not miserable. So again, you roll twice and take the highest. But if you're miserable, it doesn't work.
Okay. Oh, that seems pretty good. That
if you want to be like super like I'm never taking an injury, like that's a good one.
Yeah. I think I've definitely, because I've gone heavy on protection, obviously with shield and helm and everything. So
yeah,
that's something to consider for sure.
But you could get a cool shield, Rythian.
I could get a cool shield.
You could get a super badass shield. So anyway, and then the last one, Untamable Spirit. Dwarves were made from their beginning to resist any form of domination. You have strengthened your resolve against all but most subtle of the weapons of the enemy. You raise your maximum hope rating by 1 point, and you gain 1 dice on all shadow tests made to resist the effects of sorcery. So your hope goes up by 1, and you get an extra dice on tests against sorcery.
Oh, that one is cool.
So I can read those out at any point as well, but I'm just going to move on to hobbits now. So if you've got like a short list, like make some notes. Virtues of the hobbits. The first one, art of disappearing. Hobbits are said to have little or no magic about them, but the way they can choose to disappear quickly and quietly can be described by others only as supernatural. You have learned to choose exactly the right moment to turn away from the attention of others, sometimes unconsciously anticipating the need to disappear. The benefit is, if a location or situation offers even the smallest opportunity to hide or sneak silently away, you can make a stealth roll. If you get 1 or more success icons, you can spend 1 to simply disappear. So you can just, at any point, as long as the situation applies to it, you can be like, stealth roll, I succeed, I vanish.
I'm out.
Goodbye. Brave at a pinch. One of the wise once said that you have to put a hobbit in a tight place before you find out what is in them. You prefer to avoid finding yourself in one, but you are also sure you would be able to take good care of yourself in those circumstances. As long as you are miserable, weary, or wounded, you are inspired on all rolls. So again, you basically have the benefit of being inspired, like your distinctive trait, on any roll as long as you're under one of those conditions. Okay. Small folk. Hobbits are a little people, but their resourcefulness far exceeds their stature. You have learned how to exploit your small size to your advantage in a fight. When you are engaged in close combat with a creature bigger than you, you add +2 to your parry rating. Additionally, you can assume a rearward stance in combat, even if there is only one other ally fighting in close combat. Not as relevant in this because pretty much Magnar and Huffer are always going to be in close combat, but the first bit certainly is beneficial. You basically get higher defense against stuff that's bigger than you. This one I think is quite interesting. I think this one might be good for Prim. Sure at the mark. Hobbits are nimble and keen-eyed, qualities that make them good archers. You have honed this natural talent to perfection, so much so that you just need to stoop for a stone to find yourself armed with a deadly weapon. All of your ranged attacks are favored, so you roll twice and take the highest. If you attack by throwing a stone, the roll produces a piercing blow on a result of a Gandalf rune with an injury rating of 12. Basically, stones can't normally do damage, but in the hands of a hobbit, you can crit with them. It's a low crit, but you can crit with them. And then 2 more. Good. I think for it could be really good for Prim. 3 is company. The wise say that it is sometimes best to trust to friendship than to great wisdom. This is particularly true for hobbits, as everyone knows that it is hardly possible to separate them from their friends. You have given your trust to your fellow company members, and a true friendship has grown from their bond unifying you. You raise your company's fellowship rating by 1 point, and additionally, during the fellowship phase, you may take a second fellowship focus, which is a special kind of action that you can do during the fellowship phase that has benefits. And then finally, tough as old tree roots. They say that hobbits are difficult to dismay or kill, and that they recover their health at a prodigious pace if allowed to enjoy some peace and quiet. You have discovered that you can recover wonderfully from falls and bruises at the cost of some considerable pain. When you are wounded and must roll to determine the severity of an injury, you roll 2 dice and choose the better result. In addition, you double your strength score when calculating the number of endurance points you recover when resting. So pretty good as well if you need to get some stuff back. And then let's go on to the Dunedain.
Okay.
Endurance of the Ranger. They say that a ranger with a clear trail to follow can never be weary. You hope the saying will prove true, as it will be your fate to often travel in haste, to seek distant lands on urgent errands, or to relentlessly hunt your enemies. If you wear a suit of leather armor or no armor at all and carry no shield, you never gain fatigue during a journey.
Wow.
Oh, that's just the first one. Foresight of their kindred. The Rangers of the North still possess a measure of the foresight that their ancestors possessed in full. In the twilight of the Third Age, this gift manifests as a sense of watchfulness and of fear, arising to warn a ranger of danger that has not yet come to pass. During an adventuring phase, you may invoke your gift of foresight a number of times equal to your wisdom rating, to bestow it upon yourself or another member of the company. This gift can be spent at any moment to reroll all the dice involved in any one roll, whether made by a player hero or an adversary targeting them. So you basically have a number of foresight points that you can spend to just completely reroll a check, like everything. Heir of Arnor. The days of your folk have darkened, and not many of you remain, but ever the memory of the kings is passed from generation to generation. An artifact going back to the days of Lost Arnor has been in possession of your family in line unbroken. Now you have been deemed worthy to become its keeper. With the help of the Loremaster, use the rules to create either a marvelous artifact or a famous weapon possessing a single enchanted reward. The item is generally of Númenórean craftsmanship, but might be of Elven or Dwarven make. When you retire, this object is passed on to your heir as an additional heirloom. So you basically get to make a magic weapon, basically, or a magic item.
Sure. Okay.
Royalty revealed. Your kin belongs to a bloodline of kings, but they have learnt to hide from their enemies in the twilight years of their kingdom. Should you choose to reveal your heritage, your noble bearing will cause your allies to cast away their doubts. You reveal yourself by shouting an ancestral battle cry, or unsheathing a weapon of high lineage, or by showing a device or coat of arms. Once per combat, when you fight in the open stance, you may attempt the Rally Comrades combat task as a secondary action. Additionally, all members of the company, you included, are inspired on all their roles in the following round.
Open is the one I'm always in.
No, forward is the one you're always in. Open is like the neutral one, where it's no benefit but no penalty.
Okay.
Last two, strength of will. You have been raised in a land dotted with desolate ruins and burial mounds. You have heard the dead whisper with cold voices out of lonely barrows, while ghostly lights dance on haunted hills. When your will strengthens your heart, there is hardly anything in this world that can dismay you. You gain 1 dice on all shadow tests made to resist the effects of dread, so fear effects, basically.
Okay, pretty good. Yeah.
And then finally, ways of the wild. The Rangers of the North roam ceaselessly, hunting for wicked things and guarding all frontiers. For you, the wild has become as familiar as the road that leads home to a familiar hobbits, and the land itself may reveal useful tidings. Whenever you are making a roll using explore, hunting, or travel, you can spend 1 hope to achieve a magical success. Additionally, you are always allowed to cover more than 1 roll during a journey. So basically, you get the similar thing to the dwarven thing, but it's a set 3 skills that you can use it on.
Sure.
But you just get to succeed at whichever one you would like.
Okay.
Would you like me to reread any?
Can you tell me what Durin's Way was?
Durin's Way. This is the add +2 to your parry rating when fighting underground or in otherwise cramped quarters.
Okay. And Stoneheart was, I get an extra.
So all your protection rolls
roll?
are favored. So you would roll 2 d12s and you take the highest, as long as you're not miserable.
Yeah. So the issue I've found is that, like, my protection has usually been pretty good.
Yeah.
But often I take damage anyway, and that burns down my endurance. But I guess, like, as we've said, like generally it's fine endurance, but like it's still, once it goes down, you're down either way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like going full in on protection it is good, but I also feel like that's only one level of defense I have, so I'd like to go on another one.
Yeah, and
I'm leaning towards Baruch Khazad at the moment because that feels cool.
Protection
like a sort of battle cry thing.
is only if you get a piercing blow. It's only if you get like a crit, like an injury blow against you. Now there are the basic virtues as well. These are all the cultural virtues. The basic virtues, these are the ones that you also chose during character creation. So these are things like confidence. You raise your hope by 2. Hardiness. You raise your endurance by 2. Mastery, choose 2 skills and make them favored. Nimbleness, raise your parry rating by 1 point. Prowess, or lower the attribute target number. So these are the numbers you have to roll over to succeed on skill checks. You can lower one of them by 1. And then also dour handed, which I think makes more sense now that we've done a few combats. When inflicting special damage in combat, add +1 to your strength rating on a heavy blow. So you know how like when you get the heavy blow, you get to add your strength rating as damage for every success, or you can add +1 to the feat die numerical result on a pierce. So that's like if you hit, you can increase your chance to get a piercing blow, basically. But they're the basic ones, and I can't imagine you guys will want to pick those when you've got such cool.
They're less exciting.
They're less fun. They're less fun.
I'm sure they're good still, but like the new ones are more exciting because they're more unique. You know.
For the Heir of Arnor.
Yes.
Is it a magic item or a magic weapon?
So you can choose. It's either what's called a marvelous artifact or a famous weapon, and I will tell you what those mean. So I'll just
say, theoretically.
Yes.
Right. Purely theoretically.
Purely theoretically.
Right. Could there be a pipe of elven make that never runs out of old Toby?
So what you could do, so a marvelous artifact is it's like a magic ring or a magic belt or something like that. What they do is so for you, a pipe is we could choose what skill. You would basically pick one skill, and whenever you make a roll with that skill, you get to add 2 dice to it. And also, you can spend a hope to achieve magical successes with it as well.
Sorry, I'm just imagining Sauron perking up because
Magic
someone
pipe.
just got a new magic item. And it's a bottomless pipe.
Well, so that only applies to magic weapons and armor. It does not apply to every marvelous artifact. Doesn't care about magic pipes.
Okay.
But you could do that, right? So like you could pick, you could
have
have insight as your skill with the pipe.
Sure.
And then you get 2 extra dice for any insight check you make, and you could also spend a hope to be like magic pipe smoke, and you just succeed.
Okay. It's something to
consider, right? Like, do you want cool magic Aragorn sword, or do you want magic pipe?
Slave.
Or do you want to be able to see the future and just let you and your friends re-roll everything whenever you kind of want? Or magic pipe weed.
I think I really like a lot of these. I think I'm gonna go with Valor, and I'm gonna get that super special cool Brie shield.
Yes.
I think that sounds nice. I love the idea of like Magnar maybe being a little bit down in the dumps and a little bit worried, and then like the people of Brie come to like thank him, handing it like, that feels cool. I like that.
Hold that thought, because we're gonna do those as actual scenes. So if you want to go for that, what we're gonna do, if you reduce your adventure points by 8. And then you've already increased your valor. Brilliant. I am going to give you a reinforced reward, which will go into your rewards. And then I'm going to manually go into your shield. We can unequip it and properly equip it now. And then I'm actually going to properly edit these so that it is definitely benefit is applying. 3. So your parry rating should
Very
be...
cool.
Yeah. So with your shield equipped, your parry should now be 17, basically.
Yes. Trying to take a little less hits is the plan.
And
So-
also, it's nice to know I don't have to worry about my shield getting broken again.
Yes. So that's very nice for sure.
But we'll do that as an actual scene, because I want to actually have that and do that as a scene. But I just want to establish what everyone's rewards are first, and then we can build the scenes around it. Cool. What about Primula, Kirsty? Have you got any ideas?
I think mine's a bit of a no-brainer. I feel like Short at the Mark is just perfect.
It kind of fits, like, you were struggling so much with those arrows, and maybe in between your sort of lessons with Kellen here, you start like training archery while you're in Brie as well. I've got some ideas with that as well. Cool. Well, let me give you that blessing. You will need to manually, whenever you make a ranged attack, you will need to manually click the favored option. So you get that basically. We'll just have to remember if you do a stone, if you want to throw a stone. Oh, I've given it to Magnar. Bum.
Oh no.
That's all right. I will delete it from Magnar. And then bring it up on Prim. And then, just keep in mind that you have to manually add the favored when you make a ranged attack roll, because I don't think it will do it automatically for you. I don't think I can just set it in the bow either. No. We'll just have to do that when you manually do it, basically. But yeah, perfect. I think that makes absolute sense. And again, we'll do a little scene with that.
Perfect. Was that valor or wisdom? Sorry,
so that would be wisdom, because that is a virtue. So your wisdom would go up to 2.
Okay.
And you would spend 8 of your adventuring points.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And then what are we thinking for Old Huffer?
So, the foresight, while really strong and really cool, I just don't think it fits thematically.
Sure.
Like, with being paranoid, being able to see the future, just don't. To me, those two concepts clash.
Sure.
So, as strong as that's, I think it's the strongest of the ones that.
It's very good as an ability for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work thematically, it doesn't fit the character, it doesn't fit the character. And I'd much rather you guys pick stuff that works for your character.
Endurance of the Ranger, the no fatigue, also very cool. I don't think I want to go for that either. The strength of will, the extra downside test would fit quite well thematically. Like, I'm so aware of these terrible things happening around me that
you're steeling yourself against. You've hardened your will against it.
Yeah, so that is definitely an option, but I just can't shake this idea of a magical pipe.
Amazing. Amazing.
Quite frankly, the idea that when Huffer eventually passes, that his heir will inherit his magical pipe.
If he has an heir, he'll inherit it.
This was your father's pipe. Whoa!
Alrighty.
So I think I'm gonna have to go for a magical pipe.
I love it.
I love it. All right, bear with me. I am going to now try and give you a So how do I do a marvelous item? Would it be under skills? Would I just give you the 2 points and like an actual item? Yeah, I think. Oh, it might be under equipment. Yes. I think I can do it this way. Let me have a look here. Okay, so you've got your useful item of pipeweed as is, which you already have.
Yes.
Which we need to remember as well, though, is that you basically get to add a dice if you can justify why your useful item is beneficial. And then in terms of giving you the marvelous item, what if can I create a marvelous item? If not, I will figure this out and I will come back to it. Yeah, I might have to look into this, but we know that you've got that. You will need to. I will need a name for this pipe. For example, I will give you some example names of marvelous items. Let me see here. Does it give me a couple of different ones for the marvelous items? Does it give me some examples? It does for swords, but does it do it for marvelous items? I believe that it is things like, it'd be like, the Belt of Bjorn, so it could just be like Huffer's pipe, it could be. But this is generally, I think the idea of it is that this is something that has been passed down to you from an ancestor of Numenor, right? So this is an opportunity for a bit of like Huffer backstory, like a great grandfather or something like that. Or perhaps it was lost, and this is an opportunity for it to be recovered and returned to you.
Okay.
So
I'll have a think.
Have a think, yeah. Generally, they have a simple name, something that is related to its history, and it has to have a name that is like literally part of the rules, that these objects have to have names. They can be very simple names, but they are names. And I'm guessing you would like it to be... now, you get to pick the skill, technically. It does not have to be insight. So, for example, for pipes, I think it recommends...
Like the way I see it is, I would whip it out in a moment where I'm just pondering, right? So to me, like the skills that to me make sense are awareness, insight, scan, explore, and lore, maybe to an extent. Like, the famous scene in where Gandalf was smoking his pipe while researching the ring in Sauron's Tower.
Very nice. I love that.
So, one of those make the most sense to me.
Yeah, well, you get to pick. This is like we work together, so it's like you work with me, and I'm quite happy to if you come up with and I think it's got to be part of the pipe story, right? Like the skill that you pick is somehow connected to the story of what this item is and like how it's come into your possession and why it's important to your line.
I'll have a think.
Yeah, and here we go. It's literally things like the necklace of Girion, the Arkenstone of Thrain, the Phial of Gladriel. So it would be a simple name.
I'd like to think that this pipe was a gift from Toby himself to one of the kings of Numenor. So the
how
pipe
old
of
is old Toby?
Is old Toby? I don't.
Well, I tell you what, actually,
Toby himself.
No, mate. Let me throw an idea at you. What if it... Because I don't even know how old Toby is. I don't even know if Toby was there in the days of Numenor. But I know somebody who would have been. What if this was Tom Bombadil's pipe?
Oh my god!
That'd be pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, huh? Like the idea of
Old Toby was Tobold Hornblower, who grew the first true pipeweed in Scardens in the days of Isengrim Took II, around the year 1070 of Shire Reckoning.
So it could be old Toby's pipe as well.
I like Toby's. I like Toby's pipe.
the pipe of Toby.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I guess, why haven't you had this pipe up until now? Like, was it lost? Was this something that was, left behind somewhere? Did you lose it? Or was it, why did you not have this pipe up until now?
I think it was because it was a gift from Toby to one of
some
my ancestors.
Back in the days of Numenor, or back in the days of Fornost, and the kingdom
it
of
has
Arnor.
only ever really been used ceremoniously, in a sense.
Oh, okay.
When there was an occasion to, that would be used when
maybe it's like
Toby
when you had
a visit or something.
Yeah, and it would be passed around share some of the pipe kind of thing.
A 2,000-year-old pipe.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's so good.
I think something like that. It was always used, and maybe maybe the elf that we are talking with right now, like, has somehow gotten possession of it and just decided to give it to me, something along those lines or whatever.
Perhaps Gandalf came and dropped it off for you.
Or yeah, Gandalf came and dropped it, whatever.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea of like how you're going to get it, right? But I just wanted to get like some ideas of like where it came from and why you didn't have it.
Yeah,
so like basically you were never
gift.
given it, right? Like this isn't something you had and you lost. You just never were giving it in the first place. It's been in your family line. Okay.
It's been in the family, but it's never been officially mine.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I've got an idea.
And like, I think as for the stat that it boosts, with that story in mind, I kind of like the idea of it. Like, I don't know how useful it is ever going to be.
Sure.
But I kind of like the idea of it boosting lore.
Love it.
Ah.
No,
So it turns out it's only like 300 years old. The 1070 is apparently 2670.
Well, that's probably by Shire
yeah,
reckoning. It's by Shire reckoning.
Shire reckoning, yeah.
Yeah, I'm clicking around. So it's 1070 Shire reckoning,
Yes.
which is 2670 in the whatever age, and this takes place somewhere around 2890.
You guys, it's the year 2946 for you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
2946.
Yeah. So then it'll be like
It's about 300.
almost 300 years old. That's
Only
cool.
300-year-old pipe.
Only a 300-year-old pipe.
300 years old.
And it is a magical pipe as well. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Amazing. So, the week for Huffer and Magnar especially, it's the slowest week of your life. Just, the first 2, 3, 4 days, most of it being forced to stay in bed, not being allowed out, not being allowed to go and do things by this elf who keeps telling you to sit down to rest and things like that. The village of Brie is in the height of summer. The prancing pony is full at night, and all of these various events take place. Before I give you guys how you get your rewards, one other thing that we do during the fellowship phase is you get to choose a fellowship undertaking. So this is a special activity that you guys do that's going to give you a benefit in the future. And you get to do one of your choice, and then you get to do another one for free based on your calling. So a burglar, a warden, and is it champion, I think, for Magnar?
Yes, champion.
So you get to choose one of these things, and again, I want to tie this all into a narrative at the end of it. As this is not a Yule fellowship phase, which is basically Christmas, it's not Christmas, so you just get to do one of these. So here are your options. You could use this time to gather rumors, and if you choose this undertaking, you will receive a random rumor from the lore master that is related to what you want to know about, right? It is not specified what that rumor may be, just something that is something specific that the player hero is inquiring about, or directly related to their current adventuring circumstances, something that you can explore, prevent, or aspire to achieve. And this can be one of your free ones, because a warden can allow you to choose this for free. So gather rumors. You can meet patron. Choose this undertaking to meet one of your company's friends and allies when spending the fellowship phase in a location where that individual can be found, and if the patron is available for a meeting. And that could have various effects. For you guys, that would be meeting Bilbo, as he is your current patron. You cannot choose that as a free one, as that requires a messenger. You can ponder storied and figured maps. You can choose this to understudy maps and scrolls of lore. Until the next fellowship phase, you apply a modifier of +1 to all dice rolls made to determine the nature of events during the events of a journey. So it basically means you're less likely to get bad events if you take this one for the whole of the next adventuring phase. And again, you can't take that one as a free undertaking, because that requires a scholar. If this was Yule, you could also raise an heir or recount a story, but it's not. You can strengthen fellowship. This strengthens the bonds of your fellowship. You choose this undertaking, you raise the fellowship rating by +1 until the next fellowship phase. This cannot be a free undertaking, as it requires a captain. You could study magical items. Choose this undertaking to learn all there is to be discovered about the qualities of all marvelous artifacts and wondrous items in the company's possession. That could also be used for your axe as well, Magnar. You can do this as a free undertaking because you have a treasure hunter. You have a burglar with you. And then, I believe this is the last one, you can write a song. All cultures of Middle-earth play and sing songs to remember things that are fair and to celebrate life. Choose this undertaking to compose a song. Choose whether it will be a lay, a song of victory, or a walking song. A lay benefits councils, walking songs benefit journeys, and songs of victory benefit battle. This new composition is added to the company's list of songs. This list is used to keep track of which songs are available, and you can take this as a free undertaking because Magnar is a champion. And what songs do is you choose a song from among the company's song list to perform based on the current whatever you're doing. Everyone then makes a song roll. Anybody who succeeds in the roll can ignore the effects of being weary for the length of the thing that you are doing. And you can use it once per adventuring phase. So for one adventuring phase, if you're like worried about like weariness, you can be like, sing a song, and then you're not affected by it. I will tell you now that if you pick this, I will expect a song to be written. Like, it doesn't have to be long, but you will need to write a song to gain the benefit of it.
Understandable.
So yeah, you get to choose 2 of those, one of them being one of the free ones. Again, the free ones for you are gather rumors, write a song, or study magical items are the 3 free ones that you can do.
Okay.
I think I'd be tempted in studying my act, see what what it's about. Vinthoran.
So what that will do is if there are any additional properties to it, Magnar, I will tell you what they are, but they're not activated until you spend XP to activate them, basically, which you won't be able to do this time. But it will basically be just be like telling you the story and like what the axe can potentially do and everything else. Sadly, Toby's pipe, you know all there is to know about it already because it's a family item, so you will not gain any additional benefits from studying Toby's pipe. But this is a group decision. It's up to you guys as a OC team. This is out of character decision. What you guys think your company would do?
Song sounds cool, but I'm not good at singing, so I would very rarely succeed on the thing. So that feels
sing, but I'm not good at creating songs.
Yeah.
So...
Well, yeah.
You can. I'm more than happy for you to ask your Discords for help, or my Discord for getting help.
Yeah,
the song sounds really useful.
It does sound good for sure.
You do need to make a song check to succeed at it. That's the only thing to get the benefit of it. That's the downside.
We'd have to pick a song and then sing.
Can I do a dummy song check now?
Sure, I will allow a dummy song check.
I have 0 points in song, by the way.
I have 1. That's it.
I failed.
Yeah.
It is a 16. It's hard to beat.
Go. Watch this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What if it had been a Gandalf rune, though?
That might have been a Gandalf rune, dude.
A song hard, surely, right? But it's listed under strength. Which is quite interesting.
I get, like I think that sometimes they're very.
It is listed under strength.
Yeah, they're very abstract with it. It's like strength isn't always. It's like physical strength, but it's also like strength is used for bows as well. Right? It's sort of broken down. It's a little abstract. It's not necessarily the most.
That's fair. That's fair.
The most logical, unfortunately.
I'll leave the choice up to you guys.
I think song sounds good, but frankly, maybe we wait for that until we're better at singing. Maybe we put some more points into song before we decide to like have a song as a group.
In-game and IRL.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love that.
What else was there? There was gather rumors that probably we'll get information about.
Gather
maybe
rumor.
We can hear something about like the Rangers or whatever, like what's been happening in the Forest. That could be good information for us. So
you could gather rumors and gain a rumor. You could meet your patron. And you will have an encounter with your patron. Could be useful. Could be useful. You can ponder maps, which will give you a +1 to all die roll to the main die roll when you make journey events. Basically, so it doesn't give you a +1 to the travel. It basically when you roll the event
happens,
it makes it more likely you get good events. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like that.
Does the ponder map thing help at all with? Because we know roughly where the ranger post is. Does it help us in actually locating where it is exactly?
I'm going to say it doesn't. No, it's going to give you it's going to give you more about the terrain and the rough area to help avoid like dangers. But I'm going to say that's a very specific thing that you're going to have to try and track down.
I like that one because like what happened when we got a really good roll is we met that nice spirit, you know, that like gave us food and so on, and that was really cool. So I wouldn't mind having a higher chance of getting good travel events. So I
And
think
we had a few awful rolls, which led to us
also true.
just
Yeah,
having a terrible time. So I think getting a buff there would be really handy. Yeah.
I'm happy.
So yeah, I think we go for that one for sure.
Okay. And then what would you like to do for your free one?
as
You
well.
get the free one has to be
Yeah.
study magic item, write a song, or gather rumor. Those are the three you get a free one.
Yeah.
Gather rumor. I can imagine like when Prim's not fussing over the two of them, like just sort of wandering around and just being sneaky and listening about.
Yeah.
I think that makes
I think that could be interesting. Getting some information.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious about my ex, but I also think it's fine. I don't think I need to do that now. That's something we can do
I'm
some
fine
other time.
with both.
Yeah.
Like the rumor is, I think, more useful for us in general, but
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
Really,
But
like,
like I
Magnar
said-
learning about his axe leads to something incredible. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't.
That is true, but like as we know, I wouldn't be able to activate it now anyway. So it's something I want to do eventually.
I also-
but right now, given I think the worry we have about like how bad things have been for us, trying to get a sense from people we talk to and so on might be something worth finding out about.
I also really like the idea that this is a dwarven axe, and you'll need to like go travel to a place that has dwarves in it, or like meet a dwarf who
Yeah,
can
like
help
a lot
you.
of people in Brie probably wouldn't know a ton of it. You know? So,
I don't know. I kind of like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
So then we do the maps and we do the rumors.
Yes, excellent. Cool. I'm just going to add these to your company account so that we have a record of which ones that you've done. This is going to be active. I'm going to alt click it. Oh, why you not let me? All right, never mind. Cool. And then gather rumor you wanted to do. Okay. Undertaking. Gather rumor. Summer 2946. Amazing. Okay. So, the week, as I said, drags slowly for Huffer and Magnar, but for Primula, probably the opposite. It speeds by. You split your time between helping Kellen here with your friends, picking up little bits of medicine. I think, one day you are... Huffer has got his tunic off, and his, the stitches are being checked, and you're sort of with Kellen here, and he's like, now, Miss Primula, can you remember which of these herbs is the antiseptic one that I showed you? And he opens up this kind of beautiful elven pouch, and there are a series of different vials and tinctures there. And they all have different colors. There's a slightly light blue, a light green, one that looks entirely clear, of the three sort of like liquids, and then there are various like swabs and cotton cloths and things like that. What do you think? Like, how does Primula know at this point, or is this still unsure?
Can I do a roll?
Sure, yeah, do a medicine roll. Yeah.
Little healing roll?
Yeah, do a little healing. Sorry, medicine. Stuck in D&D and Pathfinder. Very much the most incredible success you've ever rolled.
Yeah.
That is like as good as it could possibly be.
The greatest roll you've ever made.
Literally.
You think for a minute, and like it's the clear liquid, and that you have to use the sort of like little tweezers, and you're to apply the antiseptic, and then it's the green tincture afterwards, which you can use to help speed up the healing of the wound. But it has to be cleaned and antiseptic first, and then you apply the medicinal herb ointment.
I think she rattles that off. Like, she's trying to impress him.
Yeah. So like, what do you say?
It's this one, and then I need these tweezers to apply it, and then this one after. And then etc. etc.
I think Huffer just looks at her in amazement. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's like in her element, I think, just being in Brie. Like, we've been on the road, and there's like she's a hobbit. She's homely. She wants to be. She's most comfortable at home, and now
Yeah.
she's in a sort of more of a home environment. She's sort of just
Is there
able to,
Is there something also with Primula? You know, she's learning something new. You've never left the Shire.
Yeah.
Like, this is all brand new, and this is like, there's an excitement there sometimes, right, when you're learning new things. And Kellen here doesn't answer. He just lets you get on with it, and you just instinctively you finish the cleaning of the wounds, you apply the medicinal oil, but then you immediately go to like checking Huffer's, like, you know, like, you check his pulse, you make sure you check his fever, you're checking all these things, and you sort of get lost in it, just remembering all the things that Kellen here has taught you over the last few days, but also probably remembering, because you did get a couple of big extra successes there as well, you start remembering like old tales from your nana, like old hobbit remedies, you know, like, oh, if you use chestnut oil on burns, you know, that actually, nothing better for a burn than chestnut oil, and you start thinking about those things, and you realize that you remember a lot more than you think you did. And Kellen here just lets you work. Maybe 20-30 minutes goes by, and you realize that he's not said anything, and you've bandaged Huffer's like chest back up, you've reapplied all the bandages, and he just smiles, and it's this beautiful ethereal, it's like moonlight shining down on you. That is most correct, Miss Primula. I've rarely seen one so talented in the healing arts. You have taken to this quite naturally. I think you have a gift for this.
Oh, really? I'm just doing what you told me. And
I have worked with Elven scholars who have taken longer to memorize and learn all of these different tinctures, but you have such a good memory for especially the herbal and the flower remedies. It seems to be something you remember quite easily and quite well.
oh well, yes. You see, my nana, she told me about these. She used different names for them, but I remember when you told me that this one is good for wounds, and this one's good for burns, and I think she told me a lot of this before, and it's all just coming back to me, really.
I think that your companions are going to be in very good hands from now on. And he just smiles and sort of leans down, puts his one arm again on your shoulder, and just sort of like nods and gives you this very reassuring, like, you can see he's proud. Like, even in this short time, he's like very impressed by you. And that sort of
she's like
lingers with you.
beaming. She's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And that really, really sticks with you for a time. When you're not training with Kellen here, Primula, you spend your time walking around Brie, and in fact you have a bit more freedom than Huffer and Magnar in the first few days, and very quickly you become a popular figure amongst the Brie folk here. Lots of times in the morning you go out to gather up like fresh bread and milk and things like that to bring back to the tavern for your friends, and you get greeted with like, oh, good morning, Miss Primula, hello, howdy do, and sort of, you know, as you go about your way. And some of the people that you get to meet, you meet a group of people from Archit, which is a very small village just north of Brie in the Chetwood, and you notice them because they all carry these beautiful bows, and asking around you learn that they are the best hunters, the best sort of marksmen around Brie. And you get chatting to one of them. Do you want me to come up with a name for who this might be, or would you like to come up with a name for who this archer who's going to maybe give you some lessons?
You can come up with a name.
I can come up with a name. I like to give the option.
Go ahead.
Would you like them to be male or female?
Hang on, what did you say, Zylus? Did you have a name?
I have a good idea.
Oh,
he's
go
got an
on.
idea. Go on.
What if it's the, I forget her name, but the ranger that we saved?
Oh, Lorwyn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea, Zylus. Yeah, I love that. So you sort of, you are admiring these archers from Archit with their fancy bows, and you're watching them sort of firing at targets nearby. You can see they're sort of putting on a bit of a show, a little bit of a sort of local game, you know, who can score the best point. And you're watching them. Thank you, Ravs, for the raid, by the way. I just seen that he's raided into us as well. And you're watching them, and you hear somebody sort of approach you and just say, like, they're not too bad, are they? And you look behind you and you see Lorwyn, the ranger, looking so much better than the last time you saw her.
Good.
Still a little pale and a little gaunt, but so much better than the last time you saw her. I thought I saw you walking around Brie the last few days.
Hello, Miss Lauren. How are you feeling? You look so much better.
Thank you, my dear. I'm doing much better thanks to you and Narandir and your dwarven friend as well. I fear that I would not have made it. Oh, if you see him, do let Narandir know that his horse is stabled in the stables and brought back safe and sound.
Okay.
You've been watching the archers there. I saw that you carried a bow at Weathertop.
Oh yes. My family they've always used a bow, and I'm no different. She's probably got hers with her.
Yeah.
I imagine, like she probably just walks around with it, and it's probably just old. It's nothing special.
Worn, but
it's not,
well
not
used.
fancy like theirs.
Have you had much experience with it before, or is this your going out into the hills? Was that your first time?
Well, I have now.
I see. I'm not in any sort of condition to travel, but if you would you like some pointers? I'm far better with a bow than I am with a blade, and if you would like some lessons or some tips, I'd be more than happy to share them. I've got quite a few years of experience. Yes, of course. It would actually bring me great comfort to know that you were traveling with Narandir and could cover his back with arrow fire.
I would love that.
Yes, come along.
I truly would.
And she takes you over, and you see some of the archers from Brie are sort of looking curiously at this ranger and this hobbit, but she sort of takes a stand next to you, sort of kneels down, and it's like, now, give me your best draw, and you sort of draw it back. And I think that very quickly she realizes that you have this incredibly keen eyesight. But what and shooting at targets is one thing, but I think that what she works with you on is that fear of, in that combat, it's the things rushing towards you and rushing to your friends and the panic and the noise, and she helps you sort of just focus on what you can see and focus on what's in front of you and really hone those hobbit senses in. And you learn to breathe just that little bit more slower every time you take a shot. You learn to hold the breath when you draw it at the full draw and let go. And in that, you start hitting those targets so much more accurately every single time. And yeah, I think that that represents that you gaining that ability, that little moment with Lorwyn.
Oh, that's really nice.
After the few days of rest, Magnar, you quickly return to your business. You begin preparing supplies. What is Magnar sort of initially gathering up when you sort of go out there? What's first on your mind that you need to sort of gather for your upcoming journeys?
I'm trying to think of what we lacked on the journey there, and I feel like despite the sort of somewhat ill-prepared journey, we were kind of okay. So I'm pretty much sticking with what we had before. I want to make sure that there is plenty of traveling food and rations and plenty of such that need just in case something goes bad. I want to make sure that we have cover for bad weather if we need to bed down out in somewhat in the open or whatever, and pretty much just make sure that any of our horses will be well fed and well taken care of as well.
As you're out doing these errands, as the week is drawing to an end, you are approached by a Breelander, one that you met before, Perry Oakstout, who is in fact the one who told you about Nell's Hollow. And he sort of approached you. Master Magnar, do you have a moment, sir?
Perry, hello.
Yes,
sure.
And you can see that behind Perry is a not insignificant crowd of people. Various villagers of Brie. You see Hella and Aona, the farmers, sort of whispering to a few of their friends and sort of nudging. They seem to be nudging somebody forward, but Perry is just well, Master Magnar, I just wanted to, on behalf of the village of Brie, we would like to thank you and your company for what you did.
Thank you.
We've all heard this. We've all heard from Iona and Hell.
Magnar's a little awkward as he's being thanked, sort of mumbling almost over Perry as she speaks. Oh, it's fine.
No,
it's
but
fine.
we heard about
never mind.
The beast, and they told us, Iona, they said that your shield got broken, sir, when you were in the battle.
Yes, in the battle it was crushed and splintered.
I don't know if it was
a tough time.
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was a family thing or an heirloom or anything of great value.
A simple shield brought from home, but beyond that, it was no particular fantastic value.
Well,
I miss it, though. I need to replace it.
Well, that's what we've come for, sir. Obviously, we know that you and your friend, there was a fair good bunch of goods that you recovered, and you're more than welcome to them, sir. You've all returned what was stolen from us, so anything else you're more than welcome to keep. But we wanted to give you something as a thank you, sir, for what you did. The smiths, we got a few of the smiths, the best smith in town, and he shoves this young blacksmith. No, actually, he wouldn't be young. He would sort of be like 40s, and he kind of stumbles forward. And you can see he has a large heater shield, and it's got like a wrap over it, basically. And they were like, well, it's a fine shield, sir, best that we've made, and we would like you to have it, basically, as a thank you for what you've done. And well, I think that it sounds like you're off on new adventures, and a stout shield is nothing better to keep you safe and keep your friends and the people close to you safe. So we would like you to have this, sir.
Thank you very much. I would like nothing else than to make sure the village of Bree is safe, so that you need not worry about any dangers outside. And a stout shield would, of course, as you say, keep me as safe as I possibly can be. But you must know, of course, that I hope this hasn't taken away too much from you. I did only what needed to be done.
No, sir. No, it's not a trouble at all. Not a trouble at all. It was it was an old shield, and we've sort of repaired it and done it up and given it a new lick of paint and a new cover.
May I take a look?
Please. It belonged to Nell, the woman who went and fought the orcs long ago. It's a fine shield, sir. Never broken in battle. Aye.
So I go and pull back the cover sheet to take a look at the shield itself.
What would be a symbol on the shield that would mean something to Magnar? Like something that like these people could have maybe heard about Magnar, or heard a tale, or maybe like based on the conversations you had before you left Brie, or something from the battle that the farmers could have passed on. What's like a cool symbol, like a heraldry that you would like on the shield, if anything?
So I think I'd like to imagine at some point when Magnar was recovering, he was deep in the drink, not like full drunk, but like very happy and cheerful, and probably like shared like a favorite story he heard as a child about a warrior who drew strength from the sun and who basically used who fought against many enemies during nighttime, but then the sun hit, and as they shied away, the warrior drew strength and saved a bunch of people. And I think that's always been sort of a favorite story of Magnar. He might have been mentioning that a little bit while he was partying or drinking and having a good time. So I'm imagining some sort of beautiful sunrise imagery or something on the shield.
Love that. I love that. And I think that story, it's the story of a knight of Arnor, a Numenorian knight who fought against the forces of the Witch King and was holding a pass out in the North Downs, trying to hold back the Witch King's forces. And they fought throughout the night when the creatures of evil, when the spirits and the orcs and the wargs are at their strongest. And as the first rays of the sun first begin to crest, they hit this knight's shield, and it reflected down onto these spirits and wraiths and burned them and scorched them and sent them fleeing, which caused the orcs and the wargs to flee in terror as well. And that story is something that you've carried. What they've done is they've actually the rendition, kind of very Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, like Duncan's shield. It's kind of like painted on. But it's mountains, and in the sort of just off the center is the perfected form of the tower that was by Nell's Hollow, and appearing over the mountains and like shining past the tower. So it's kind of like a half sun with the rays coming out is the sun, but it has like Nell's tower sort of painted onto it as well.
Beautiful.
And they hand that to you as your reward.
This is a thing of beauty. Thank you so much. Did you make this? And I look to the blacksmith.
I did, Master Dwarf. I'm. It's no dwarven work, but as you know.
Oh, don't say that. This is. It takes rare talent to create something. It's like dunk, dunk, dunk. Like this is sturdy piece of work, and
your words are too
I shall
kind,
be proud
Master
to
Magnar.
carry it into battle.
And we would be proud for you to do so, Master Magnar. And again, please, the thanks of the village of Bree go with you.
I'm very grateful for what you've done, but my task here is not yet done, and I shall see this shield with me as I finish the job.
And they nod. There's they come up. Each individual, this big group of like Breelanders, they come up and shake your hand, and it's quite awkward, and it goes on quite long. So there's a lot of them.
Like, it's funny because Magnar is like half he wants to be a hero and wants to be celebrated and so on, but he's also, it feels weird to people come up and like be so like suffused with gratitude, and he's like, but like I didn't really do that much. So he's very much that's fine, sure, of course. But like I think ultimately it does very much cheer up his spirit. It feels like this is I'm starting to feel the thing that he wanted to do of being a hero. Like it's getting there.
Yeah. And I think that, perhaps the last thing as you finish shaking everyone's hands is Perry will just say, a cheer for Magnar the Beast Slayer. And they sort of give a cheer, as you slayed Gorstag the Beast, the great
take
beast.
A deep bow to indicate my gratitude, and then raise the shield up high so it glints in the sun. And then
big cheer. Perfect. Huffer. Yes. I think that it is one late evening and you are sat in the Prancing Pony in your usual spot. Primula is off practicing medicine with Kellen here. Magnar is at the bar deep in stories with a couple of dwarven traders who are passing through, giving you a moment to sit back in the place that you spent so many of your years and so much of your time enjoying that quiet and that introspection that you have long known for many of your years. And I think that, you hear Barleyman just, wonderful to see you again, sir. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Huffer, yes, he's just over in his usual spot over there, sir. And he sort of points in the direction. And a figure approaches your little sort of quiet corner that nobody else can really see who's in it. It's kind of your little private little quiet corner. You sometimes, you and Strider sometimes fight over it, but he's young, he's not often around here these days. And this figure sort of looms over you as you're sort of sat there smoking your pipe. What's Huffer's sort of initial reaction to being approached by anybody, like especially a cloaked and sort of shrouded figure by the camplight behind them?
I think I grabbed the pipe a little bit tighter with one hand, but definitely one of my other hand is like touching the pommel of my sword under the table, trying to keep that hidden, but
sure,
just a bit nervous, a bit wary.
Sure. The figure leans a heavy, tall wooden walking staff up against one of the beams of the Prancing Pony, and reaches up and takes a grey pointed hat and places it on the table next to you.
Now, is that any way to treat an old mentor, my boy?
As a Gandalf the Grey takes a seat opposite you.
Apologies, Gandalf. You know how it is. I'm just...
Yes. Often, Saruman says that I have far too much of the leaf, but I think if he were to meet you, he would suddenly realize that I'm quite apprehensive with my smoking. It does make you a little paranoid, my boy. I'm afraid that...
It's not the leaf that does that for me, Gandalf. You know this.
No, I do. I'm aware. But it is of that I'm afraid that I cannot stay long. I trust that Kellen here has imparted the mission to you and your company of what is at stake and what is important here.
He has indeed.
I heard that you had some trouble up in the Weather Hills recently.
Yes, we managed it in the end, but it was a bit of a close call. Orcs this close, Gandalf. Orcs this close.
Yes, they're appearing far too often around these parts, and something darker is on the roads here. Something far more sinister is traveling, but it is not for you to concern yourself with. Not yet. I am keeping an eye on it, at least one of them anyway. I have
yet being the operative word.
Yes. Well, there are many shadows looming over this land, but we do what we can. Still,
that we do.
I cannot stay very long. I am really only traveling in passing through Brie. But I wanted to pass something on. I found something that something of yours, I suppose. And he brings out from his sleeve a beautiful, ornate wooden box. And he places it on the table, and he slides it towards you.
It couldn't be.
I don't know how it found its way to Gondor. But it was in the archives. I found it there, tucked away in a small box. Who knows how it managed to make its way all the way down there. Traded, or perhaps lost or stolen, but I recognized it, considering I put the runes on it myself. And
I've not seen this since I was a boy.
Well, there's no one else to have it now, so it's all yours. And he opens the box, and there is this beautiful engraved pipe that is nestled on a box of not smokable anymore. It's almost been dried to be used as sort of packing material, like old Toby, but it's no longer smokable. It's more just being used as decoration. But the pipe itself is this incredibly ornate, quite long-stemmed pipe. And you can see that there are engravings all around it that depict the capital of Anuminas, sort of done in relief. But in the towers of Anuminas, where you would have heard the stories that they would light great pyres and great lights that would light up the lakes around it. In the pipe itself, there are tiny glowing lights that seem to almost pulse gently as he hands it to you. Old Toby's pipe indeed, and he slides it to you. I couldn't think of anyone else more fitting, and seeing as I was passing this way, it felt only right to deliver it myself.
Last time I saw this, it was my father. Gandalf. I don't know what to say.
Say nothing. I think you've done all you need to, and consider this. Well, a reward for good work.
Won't you join me for a quick one?
I think I have time enough for one, yes. And he pulls out his pipe from his staff, shares out a packet of the finest long bottom leaf as the two of you soak up your pipes. Gandalf takes a big drag, breathes out, and conjures it into the shape of Smaug as it begins to fly through the air.
God, you were always a show-off, weren't you?
Of course. You don't get to be my age without learning to show off a little bit, Huffer. And the two of you sort of enjoy a quiet moment, and nobody else even realizes he's there. Almost as if that half of the that little corner of the prancing pony is just a little darker than it should be. The attention of the room is drawn elsewhere. After finishing the pipe with you, Gandalf looks a little bit more solemn. He packs the pipe away. I really cannot stay any further. You are heading north to Fornos, then?
We are indeed. There's rumors of a Palantir, Gandalf.
Yes. Lord Elrond and I have long thought that some of the lost seeing stones perhaps were not as lost as we first thought. I will leave this in your capable hands, Huffer, but... And he leans in and puts a hand on your shoulder. Beware the northern road. There are many barrows and graves along that road, and the spirits of the Witch King still linger, possessing the bodies of old kings and old knights along that place. Be wary.
I think upon hearing like the name of like the Witch King, like Gandalf can definitely see like this flicker of fear in Huffer's eyes.
Have heart, my dear boy. You've already brought light to the village of Bree, and I have a strange feeling. And he sort of looks over to where like Primula is now at the bar with Magnar, and they're sharing like a drink and sort of chatting. I think that you carry plenty of strength with you to see you through this.
I think Huffer just nods like silently at Gandalf and like kind of beckons him like, I know you've got important things to do, like just like a little nod to the side, like
Sure.
Go, you know.
The last thing he says to you is like,
Do not despair. The bloodline of kings remains, and one day, all this darkness, it will be no more.
he nods and grabs his hat, grabs his staff, swoops the cloak, and leaves, makes his way out.
Yeah, I think after he left as well, like Huffer just takes one more drag of his pipe and he just mutters to himself, I do hope you're right.
I think that as you see that, sort of as you glance down, you see that he's left the leather pouch of Longbottom Leaf there on the table for you as well.
Legend.
What a guy, this Gandalf, I swear to God, he's such a lad.
So, with that, you spend the next few days going over the maps of north of Bree, going into the North Downs and the Green Road. And Gandalf's little hint there, by the way, is going to be your rumor that along the way, there are scattered barrow sites. And in asking around Bree, you know that there are a couple of them which people can sort of identify to you. People avoid them, hearing strange rasping noises, screaming, and sometimes wailing song like laments coming from those places. However, it is also a place where great honored knights and captains were buried, and many of them were buried with powerful weapons. Many of them were buried with treasures that could provide useful to you in the battles to come. And when you go into the journey, I will mark some of these locations on your maps to represent your gather rumors thing that you did, to give you that as a element to your rumor. And then finally, studying the maps, you believe that you have got a good lay of the land, and we eventually reach the point where you've gathered your supplies, you have gathered all of your new rewards and your new gifts and your new elements, and it is time to consider setting out. What do you all do on your last day in Bree?
I think I would... Preparing for a long journey with these two, I want to like have at least a day or two of peace and sort of joy with them. Just have a nice calm meal, just some conversation about nothing exciting, basically like fun small talk and hearing a little about them as people in the story. And then go sort of around the city. I'd imagine I've gone quite fond of Bree by now, like not from all the time I spent here before, but also a little bit extra now recently. And I wanted to like check in with everyone, with Perry, and check it, even finding out that Lorwyn is here as well, and just sort of like make sure that everyone is having a good time, and just like tell them that we plan to leave soon and so on. Just sort of immerse myself in the city of Bree and all the joys there is to find there before it's off to danger yet again.
Love that. And I think that that's a great representation of you gaining your hope back, you know, just kind of filling up on the goodness that is still here, the light that remains before you travel into more shadowed lands. What about Huffer? Let's leave Primula for last. What does Huffer do on his last day?
I keep forgetting his name. What's the name of the elf again?
Kellen here.
Kellen here, yeah. I think Huffer would just try to find some time to talk with Kellen here and just prepare himself mentally for what is ahead, and seeing if he can like learn anything about what is to come.
I think that you sit down with him, and Kellen here will say, well, the ruins of Fornost, not much remains there from what I understand. The rangers who camp nearby will know its layout far better than I. But I do know that long ago, the Palantir that was there was housed in a building called the Tower of Stars. I can't imagine that there would be much there now, but if the forces of the enemy are searching for it, that may be where they've begun. Perhaps not, I don't know. But that was once where it was stored. And it is in fact where, when the Witch King took the city, he established his throne. That is the only advice I can really give you, Norandi. I'm not sure what else to suggest. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Where do you think we'll find the Palantir itself?
Honestly, I have no idea. The minds of the Shire folk, this Wendell Proudfoot. I mean, if he was able to sneak back into Fornost when it was occupied by the Witch King, I can't imagine where the young man would have attempted to hide it. I'm hoping that by his rhyme, by his letters, it seems to imply that one of their kind would know where to look. What was it that they said in this rhyme? Let me see here in my notes that I've got to scour through.
I have it.
Perhaps Primula sort of can arrive to deliver it. Perhaps on hearing those words, and Primula, you've been eavesdropping outside the room.
Dropping eaves?
I've been dropping eaves.
So
And
if
I'll
you want
admit to
to,
it.
and you can hear Callan here like shuffling his papers, like where did I leave my copy of that rhyme?
Yeah, I mean, Prim's got it written down, so she'll pull it out.
So she sort of come into the room, like shuffle, like, oh, yes, Miss Primula, are you all right?
I wrote it down. I've got it here. Did you?
Oh,
Did you want
yes.
me to read it?
Yes, please, yes. I did not realize that you had overheard our conversation.
No, well, I was listening.
Dropping eaves, baby.
I won't lie to you. I was listening. I'm excited to be going back on the road again. I just want to be involved. But anyway, a secret stone, a gift of old, power of sight, a touch so cold. By night I swiftly hid it away, never to be found ere light of day. Let no dark king find its place. Only a child of hill and grace shall one day seek its hidden bed. Neath cat and cradle they be led. Where eyes once lay, I snuck away. My good king's task I can't betray. But if good has need of stone to find, I leave my secrets within this rhyme.
I don't know what... The line that I don't understand is the beneath cat and cradle they be led. That means nothing to me. But one thing that does stand out, where eyes once lay, the Tower of Stars was also known as the Tower of Eyes. Perhaps there is something there. Perhaps Wendell left some sort of marker or hint or clue as to where he hid the Palantir. What does anything make sense to you, Miss Primula? And if you would like to make this as a roll, Kirsty, you can make a riddle roll.
Riddle roll.
A riddle roll.
A riddle roll.
Using your riddle skill.
There you go. Oh, not very good.
I'm afraid that, like, in this moment, you're like cat and like, what is you know? There's so many things cat and cradle could
Cat
be.
and cradle, like the game that you play with string.
I've never heard of such a game. If you think that may be a clue, I don't know.
I don't see how it would be very important. I'm going to be honest.
Perhaps when you're there, things will become more obvious. But you will need to keep your wits about you, and you as well, Huffer. Keep your eyes and ears open for anything that may, even if it seems at first, even if you think it be strange or out of place, trust your instincts. Perhaps when you are there, things will make themselves known.
I will.
But
I'll go now. I won't listen anymore. Sorry.
it's quite all right. But yeah, as you do that, yeah, Kellen here unfortunately has nothing more to offer you advice-wise.
Okay.
All right. And then Primula. How does Primula... We know that she sneaks in and listens to Huffer's conversation, but what else does she do?
Unbelievable, by the way.
At least she admitted to it.
Sure.
She didn't lie.
More than Sam
never
ever
lie.
did.
This is an ongoing in-joke in our private Discord, by the way. Nilesy is furious at Sam for lying about dropping Eves, and he says it makes him... He says it makes him untrustworthy. Because he's a liar. And I unfortunately have no argument, because I'm like, why did you lie, Sam? It's Gandalf. Why did you lie?
It's to Gandalf.
Why did you lie?
One of the
I agree.
wizards.
Sam is a good boy. Sam's a great boy. I just can't argue
But
that he
he's also
lied
a
about
liar.
dropping
He did lie,
Eves.
though.
I can't
He
argue
dropped
that
Eves
he didn't
and
lie.
lied.
He is a known liar.
Look, dropping
known
Eves is
liar.
fine. I got no problem with dropping Eves, right? They're hobbits. They love dropping Eves. But lying about it, I'm like, why'd you do that? Anyway, he
was
did
nervous. He was
panic. Like,
scared.
he was scared.
Yeah.
He did. But yeah, what does Primula do on her last day?
I have two things.
Oh,
Number one, she'd stock up on snack. Like,
of
big
course,
time.
of course.
Like,
We should have started up a world,
you guys have got
You got
no
full
snacks,
pouch. You're
dude.
okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I know.
So it would be like the good snacks that are probably gonna go bad after a few days that we gotta eat quick, like
Yeah.
cake. But then also the ones that are gonna last a little bit longer.
Mhm. Carry with you
She's
for a
very
bit.
prepared snack-wise.
Yeah, love that.
I think
Love that.
Magnar is getting all the functional, practical stuff, but like the
Jerky,
second
nuts.
we're one day away, he'll be asking Primula if she brought any of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Like literally
Hell yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Love it.
And secondly, she'll probably take the time to go over, like the little sort of medicine box that
Kellen
they've been
here.
using. Yeah, that Kellen has been using. She probably takes the time to sort of, I don't know, like study it and just be like, okay, that one was good for blisters, that one was good for burns,
Oh, this
that
is
one's good
perfect.
for wounds. And then, yeah, it's probably just take a mental note. I don't know if she'd be able to get any of that stuff to take with her. but...
No, you have done the most perfect segue to the last thing I was going to do. So one of the things that you can do during obviously during a fellowship phase, you can stock up on mundane equipment, right? Like Magnar and boat, and you have treasure. You can buy kind of whatever you need. So if if Huffer wanted to pick up a bow or something like that, you could do that. But one of the other
Huffer did want
things,
to pick up one thing.
yeah,
One thing he kind of forgot about until just now for some reason. He would like to check if Toby made it back to Brie with.
Yeah, no, she said like she
I
told
would've told
Primula
you.
that they all made it back. You're gonna have your horses, no problem.
Okay.
So there's two things, and one of the things I want to do. So for Magnar, you were initially chose a keen axe as your character creation reward.
Yeah.
You can change that if you would like, because you now have your magic axe, and also we haven't been factoring the keen in because you have to do it manually. So if you would like to change that for a mundane reward, you are more than welcome
so
to.
reward common, so it'd be closer to kind of make Fell Grievous keen or reinforced,
Yes,
yeah?
and I can tell you what those things do. But if you would like to swap that out, and again, that can be like you're sort of exchanging the axe and buying something else, or you can do whatever you want with that. The other thing, but this is for all of you as well, you can swap your useful items. So again, each character got to choose useful items when they made their character, depending on their standard of living. And these useful items, we keep forgetting about them, but they basically give you an extra d6 when you make certain skill rolls. So I think if Primula would like to change hers, one of them that you could change is again a medicine item, which would be Kellen here's healer's kit, and I've got I think that he would give it to you as well, if you would like to swap it out for one of your useful items.
Definitely.
Because you
keep my
had felt
soles,
shoes, yeah, you had felt shoes, and
But I've got my Stone of Concentration as well, which I like, but I've not used it. So I think,
swap
I'll
that for a
out.
medicine item, and you can rename it to just Kellen here's healer's kit, basically. And we'll come to that in a minute, but yeah, and so you have to, you can have up to 3 Magnar, and I'm guessing, well, you now have your magic pipe, Huffer, so I don't know if you want to, keep your current pipe weed as your useful item, or if you would like to swap it out. Don't forget, these can be great for your journey rolls and things like that, if you want to get like hunting items or travel items or exploration items or items to help you in any skill.
I wouldn't mind some sort of, well, I don't know what kind of items it would be, but I'd like something to help me with battle. Well, the first thing that came to mind was like a book of stories or tactical tips, like a Sun Tzu's Art of War, but Lord of the Rings type of thing.
Yeah. I think that the 2 things you could do for that, a book of tactics and things like that that you could do, or for a battle item could be like a war horn, which is used to communicate orders and things like that. Very Boromir. It could also be a banner, it could literally be something that you attach to the haft of the axe or something like that, or it could be I think the idea of a horn or a book of historical battles is good. I think both of those work.
I think the horn is cool. I like that idea for sure.
Cool. So you can swap out any of your useful items basically at this point.
I think in terms of changing out to the keen thing, I might just go for fairly simple and grab close fitting on my
your mail.
I guess on my armor, I think. Which adds +2 to my protection roll if that comes to be the case.
So again, that is one you have to do manually, so you're just going to have to remember that one.
I'll try to do that.
That's all right. I will put the common reward close fitting on Magnar.
For the sake of non-manual, is there anything that is just automatic? I guess I could go cunning make and just manually
reduce the load. So that's the easy one to do. Weapons.
I'll do that for now.
Grievous weapons, I can add the damage and I can increase the injury rating of weapons and stuff like that. But
I'll reduce the load on my coat of mail for a bit. Let's say
oh, you want to do cunning make instead?
Yeah, I'll swap it to cunning make so that it's a little bit less load. So
sure. Yeah, I mean less load is always a good thing. So I believe. Have you already reduced the load manually?
I reduced it. Yeah, I reduced it from 6 to 4. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. This is also a time if you want to ditch any equipment, you want to unequip or throw things away.
I think for the sake of being able to hunt, I'd like a bow, but in terms, I don't want to have it so that'd be something that is just in our packs or whatever, rather than having when we're out fighting. Similarly, honestly, probably also my axe. As nice as the idea of having both of them equipped, I don't think that's the case. So I think maybe that's something we'll put in a backpack or something. So I'll leave it on the sheet, but not held. So yeah.
Sure, perfect. And what item do you want to swap out? Do you want to get the sunstone for the travel item, the hunting item, or you've got a scan item? I'll drop the
pocket spyglass and replace that with a warhorn, I think.
Okay, cool. I will sort that out for you.
Nice.
Fantastic. Anything else? Things like that sort of admin-y stuff from anybody?
I think it's probably smart to get rid of my old pipe. I don't know what for, really. I don't really have a list of items that I can...
well, it's basically you choose a skill. So you don't need to necessarily look at the items. You choose a skill, and then we come up with an item that makes sense for it, right? So for example, technically I'm giving Magnar a campaign journal, but I'm just going to change it and name it to Battle Horn. But it benefits the battle skill, basically.
Nice.
I think, I know Prim is a lot more into the healing aspect of it now, but I think I'm also just after all the wounds and so on that I've got over the past journey. I think I would also want something like a little first aid kit or something,
Sure.
2 people that can heal is always good,
Yeah, absolutely. I will sort that out for you. Not a problem. That would be medicine. And I'll do this for you as well, Prim, as well. Healing.
Thank you.
Let's see, is there one that I can just use here? Oh, nettle poultice. Yeah, let's give that to Huffer. A lovely nettle
sounds
poultice.
Yeah.
And then for Prim, I'll do the same thing. And you were swapping out your Stone of Concentration, weren't you?
Yes.
But I will name this properly for you. So this is Kellen Here's Healer's Kit. Perfect. Right.
Is my pipe? Is my new pipe in my inventory anyway?
So you have the. I think I need to go and manually make it because I don't know how to make the magical items. But if not, what I'll do is I'll just give you 2 extra skill points in lore, and then we'll just do it that way, basically.
Okay. So I didn't do this. My adventure points go down by 8, and I put my wisdom at 2. Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure you do that as well. Perfect. Amazing. With that, my friends, we are going to bring this first arc to an end. This is going to be, we're going to take a break. We're not going to stream One Ring for a couple of weeks. And then we're going to come back to it. It will probably move to a different day because we got some people who are WoW raiding. But there's also a little conversation about maybe bringing in another one of our friends from our Discord to come and join us if they're available and if they're free, because I know they're quite keen to join in. And I think it will be a perfect time for somebody to come and join us for a sort of next leg of the journey. The episode will end with you all gathering your ponies, gathering your packs. Callan here, Lorwyn, Perry Oakstout, Hala, Iona, and Barlaman have all come to sort of see you off as you begin making your trek down towards the northern gates of Brie. As you look out onto and I'll switch on over to our journey map just for this last little exit. As we are going to be heading northwards, heading out from Brie. You guys are all on the journey map now, aren't you? As you can see that road that leads north towards Fornost. And who knows, there may be some things to be revealed once I can figure out how to do it on Foundry along the way. Fornost, this broken ruin that was once this glorious city of the Kingdom of Arnor, the green road leading north, scattered with farmsteads, but also the scars of the battles of the North Downs, the scars of the Witch King, barrow mounds of long dead warriors and heroes, bleak, darkened stretches of grass that never seem to grow back, where rusted swords and spears and helms still remain to this day, now overgrown and lost amongst the dark grass that grows there. But time has passed, and your journey to Nell's Hollow, though a great thing, has given a chance for that shadow to deepen, for its claws to stretch out a bit farther, and for the darkness to take a greater hold. As far, far, far away, beyond the Misty Mountains, in the kingdom of Mordor, where darkness lies, a great tower begins to stir with fire and darkness, as the great enemy is awakening. And that's where we're going to end.
Uh-oh. Oh,
That's because you got the fancy axe.
that's because we got an axe now. Sauron is coming. Oh no!
Sauron's
the pipe is back.
It was the pipe.
Sauron's got a lot of things going on, but if you guys cause trouble and disrupt plans, well, maybe something will be sent to deal with you. So,
Oh boy.
Sauron's in his tower, like sniff, sniff. Is that old Toby?
I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I know it was a bit of an
That's great.
mini one, but I'm glad that we got to do some RP bits mixed in there as well. It's always nice to see how the different mechanics of the system play in, like how leveling up and sort of, advancement works, but try and tie it in with some fun RP there. I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway.
It was great fun.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Be good, be good.
Be good. And yeah, we're going to take a little break and then hopefully be back in a couple of weeks to come and join us. Yes. And yeah, please go watch Kirsty and Rythian on their streams. Zylus doesn't often stream, but you can catch him on Yogscast content with all of us as well, where we play lots of games together and have a good time. But yeah, anything, I'm trying to think if there's anything to really chat about, but we've already run over a little bit. I think I'm very happy with all of that. I think you guys made some very cool picks. I'm excited to see how this all affects future combats as well and future skill rolls. Like, I'm hoping it helps.
That healing roll, like,
oh my god! Like, after all of your rolls in the adventure leading up to this as well, like really struggling, and then you just are like, oh yeah, I'm a god healer, by the way, like gifted, super gifted. By the way, no big deal.
I just haven't rolled healing, so you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Duh.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the new like virtues and like the new little bits and pieces play into it as well. Very excited to see if the pipe is ever useful. Like, I am so curious to see if there's going to be this moment where I'm like, oh, I don't know, guys, you're going to need to give me a lore roll, and Zylus is just like, I get my pipe.
1 sec.
That's gonna be great.
I got it.
I don't know, just the way I look at it is the Dunedain in general has just seemed so bullshitly busted so far.
I love the fact that you were like, I get to have a free magic item. Give me a cool magic pipe.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to then also give myself like a completely busted trait on top of that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it is crazy.
Weed pipe.
Chekhov's, yeah, it is definitely going to be Chekhov's weed pipe at some point. But yeah, I'm excited to see where things go. I'm also excited to see if our friend does join us. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but I'm excited to see what they might play. What they might bring to this wacky group of the company, because you guys have now got I feel like you guys have got a great bond, right? You guys, this is like a real great, like,
we've been through
company
the
bond.
shit at this point. We're
you're
friends.
thick, you're friends to the end, right? Like, this is like Boromir, like, they took the little ones, like, this is going to be that kind of level, right? Or Aragon. Like,
I think a lot of it's also we also recovered together, which is almost as big a deal as like fighting side by side. We also, like, when things were down and when things were bad, we were together. It's like the time they have in Rivendell when Frodo's injured is a huge part of making them. And
that's why I love the way that this system does the mechanics. Like, sure, the combat is very swingy. We figured that out last time. Sure, like, it can be a bit like, oh, it's weird that skill uses this. But it's stuff like the Fellowship phase where it really does capture that feel of the books and the movie, where it's just like, yeah, this is that bit in Rivendell where they're all like bonding, or it's the bit where, like, Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli are like bonding in Rohan, and stuff like that. Like, it really feels like those moments, right? And it's always nice when the mechanics and the narrative sort of blend together really well in that. So very, very interesting to see where we go from here. Cool. Well, thanks very much for joining me, guys. Feel free to head off and I will chat for a little bit. But thank you once again for joining me for the stream. Thanks for giving up your evening to play game with me.
it was great fun.
Thank you.
Very happy.
I'm very glad. And yeah, we will keep an eye on our socials, keep an eye on my socials, and I'll let you know when the next episodes are going to start back up again.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I'll ping people in my Discord too. I constantly at everyone. Come watch Lord of Ring, please.
Lord of Ring, please. Cool. But feel free to head off, guys. Thanks again for sticking around. Cheers.
See everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.